Next item on the agenda, foreclosure on Valentine. And since we don't have a city attorney here, I asked that Betty could speak on it briefly.
This is, we have a independent contractor that has been taking care of LID free, and this is for seriously past due LID payments that they have made every attempt to rectify and have not had any success, and they turned it over to the city attorney's office for foreclosure. That requires council action, and so Zach sent me an email asking me to put it on the agenda for council.
So, and we have no other information.
Do you know offhand approximately from finance the amount of their arrears?
I would if I went and had pulled that file. I have a report that shows it being sent over to, but I didn't pull that information not knowing that it was not used.
Yeah, no, just wondered if you happen to remember it, if it was
Not off the top
one of
of
those
my
numbers
head.
that sticks or not.
So my goal was hopefully we just kind of get a briefing on what was going on and get clarification on Monday night so that we might be able to take action.
You want the dollar figure for Monday night?
Yes, please. And hopefully we'll have a better report and we'll have a better understanding.
Yeah, the attorney should be able to speak to it, I would hope.
I would think so.
Can we find out, when you get the dollar amount, how far past due it is as well? And is this, we've had these before, and Clint, you may remember, if they bring it current to like, I don't remember exactly how it worked, it was something like if they were 3 years, and it became a 4th year, they could foreclose, but if they brought it current to where it was only 3 years past due, there was some kind of stipulation, and maybe that's different LID or...
No, there is something like that, and he tried to get them to do that so that it's never on foreclosure, but he was not successful.
Okay.
And that's the Pacific Finance Group or whatever.
The people who pay to do those LIDs, yeah, okay. Yeah, just be able to find out how far past due they are, and then what it would take to get them to that. Not only the total amount, but what it would take them to avoid it. Just out of curiosity to see what that threshold is. Thank you.
Any other questions from council? All right, so move it forward. Excellent. Next item on the agenda, the solid waste interlocal agreement. I wasn't sure if that was Ken or... Like it's Ken. Yeah, well, I also had one that had that.
It has both, I believe. You saw a letter a little over a month ago that said that we would sign the ILA, and now this is just moving forward to signing the interlocal agreement with King County Solid Waste. This is the revised version. They're extending the interlocal because Cedar Hills isn't going to fill up as fast as they thought it would, which is a good thing in some ways. And it also gives them a chance to go out for longer bonds, so they don't have to, so they can extend their bond period. Is what the extended interlocal agreement is for. And it's a multiple page, very long, lengthy, very long contract. And the city attorney does have a copy of it.
This was brought up at the Public Issues Committee, and all the other cities have signed on it.
Yeah, we're the last one to.
Yeah. Councilmember Walker and then Putnam.
So I'm wondering if this impacts our exemption of sending all of our city waste to them, or if the Pierce County section can still be exempt.
The Pierce County can still be exempt if and when we renegotiate a contract. They would prefer that it all goes to them.
Okay, but we're okay.
But we're okay
with this.
continuing right now.
Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Same question I had on the diversion here.
Any other questions? What's council's pleasure? Okay. This was discussed at a previous work session. All right. Next item on the agenda is something that was handed to you tonight in a loose form. It was regarding the Northwest Brewing request. So Betty, can you speak on that at all?
This is, you all got a copy. Northwest Brewing came in and they would like to have a outdoor event with music, and municipal code requires a permit for an outdoor music event. I gave her a copy of the ordinance that requires, with all the requirements, and she has answered each of the questions on the paperwork that you have gotten. I also gave a copy to acting finance director so that he could make sure that if he had any concerns, they could be addressed as well. It does require council action. She did pay the $200 fee for the permit application. This was done last year. I believe it's a repeat of it. And she is here tonight and happy to answer your questions if you have any.
Questions from council? I had a question. Did it say on here the hours?
It was until 11 or no,
Oh, I
12.
see, 12 to 11.
12 to 11, yeah.
So it goes beyond the 10 o'clock noise ordinance?
The permit or the outdoor music has a midnight cutoff.
And 1 o'clock shutdown, which that's
And
no.
everybody's got to be gone by 1 o'clock.
Any other questions from council?
With music going that late, what's the nearest, there's no nearby residential that I can think of from there. Do you know what the nearest residential is from there?
No, there's like a
down there.
But yeah, I'm trying to think.
houses on balance.
Yeah.
The nearest residential is gonna be 3, 4, probably 4 or 5 blocks away. It's north and all west.
And then the other side, okay. Any other questions from council? Okay, what's council's pleasure? All right, moving it forward. Next item on the agenda.
I'm sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
Not related
you
to- Well,
can.
kind of related to this, but not really. The fee for outdoor music festival, and Ken and I talked to this already outside.
I found it.
You found, okay. So, does specific days or some kind of free public event require something like this? And your answer would be?
Yes.
Okay. And then, specific days also does, again, unrelated to this, raffles, and games of chance. If it's a free event, does that also require any $75?
I didn't find it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so just to put it out there.
Is there a question?
Some degree of discussion.
Okay.
I was just questioning because it was a city function.
So could, I guess, and we don't have to have the answer now, but could council waive those fees if it was a free event for the public?
We already did.
Well, we waive park fees, but if Civic has, if it has music, a music event like this, it
That
is
is $200
a $200 fee.
fee.
And a
Could the
$75.
park board put it forward? Can we put it forward to ask for the waive? Or does it have to come from council? I mean, we could.
It's never, ever been questioned before. It's a nonprofit, it's a fundraiser for a nonprofit. They've taken over the park. We waive the fees for the park. Right, the park board is sponsoring, you know.
And the city council should be able to waive those fees. I would think.
Right, I mean, if we're gonna be bringing it up and being that picky about every little.
Well, I just want to make sure we're following code. It's not a matter of being
Sure.
picky. But if we waive the
Waive it.
fee, the rental fee, maybe it's something we should bring up next week.
Okay.
So,
I'll do some research on it.
okay, thank you very much.
All right. So, next item on the agenda is the master contract usage agreement.
This is with the state. In the past, we've had an agreement, a purchasing agreement with the state, and it was done through general administration, and there was a fee for it, approximately $200 a year. They've made some changes, and it's been taken over by the Department of Enterprise Services, and it's free, and it's a one-time registration, but it is something that has to be signed and it's a commitment of sorts. So I prepared a resolution so that we would have it through council and everybody knows what we're doing. But this is what we need to have if we want to continue using their their contract. Purchasing contract.
Do you know what the changes are?
The changes that it's free and
Just
that
other than that,
and you only have to do it one time.
that's the only changes. When you said there were some changes, I just want to make sure there was no changes to it.
Oh, no, the changes is the fact that it's a different department taking care of it.
Questions from council? Councilman Foreclosure? Next item on the agenda is the ordinance 1845, licensing for nonprofits. Councilmember Holsey, were you going to speak for that?
Yeah, the law as it's written, or the proposed law.
Can you get in the microphone, please? Thank you. Sorry.
Proposed ordinance as it's written still needs some work. So I suggest we postpone this for a couple of years.
Are we tabling this, or?
No, I don't think the table is what we're going to use for it.
Postpone indefinitely.
Killed it totally. So, and that would go along with the fee schedule amendment?
Yeah.
Yes.
The fee schedule amendment has some things besides that.
Cool.
It has some stuff from the court, so I would, if it's all right, I would really just as soon take the fees for licensing those nonprofits out of here and leave the others and go ahead and make the correction to the court charges and fees. So if that's okay.
Sure. And which ones were those changes? Which ones exactly, do you know? From the court?
And get back far enough where I have it. On page 1 of the fee schedule, under administration copying, number 4, certification of a one-page document, $5, each additional page $1, each additional seal $2. Number 16, credit cards, make that a convenience fee. 17 is CD of court proceeding, $10. 18, court fees for copies, copy without a seal per page, 50 cents, copy without a seal, electronic per page, 25 cents, copying the CD, $20. Under B, number 2, faxing for the first page stays the same, each additional page, $10. And then down under H, we will ditch number 1, religious and charitable organizations for $10. And I think that's the only changes that were made. But those all came from the court, and those were set by the state, so we need to be in line with it.
So, and we can legally charge a credit card convenience fee?
Yes.
Okay, 'cause I heard there was a question regarding whether that was a legal charge or not.
That's why she changed the wording, I believe.
Okay, any other questions from council? So, what's council's pleasure?
Move forward as amended.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the acceptance of the Roxy's donation.
In the process of some of my reviewing things, it came out that there's been a $500 donation. That donation is required to come through council, so I copied what happened last year when they donated, and in bringing it forward for council to be able to accept that donation.
Move forward.
Okay.
We don't want it.
It is for youth program.
It's not tied to anything specific, right? Or
Youth
just-
program.
But within that, it's not anything crazy that we should be concerned about.
It wasn't last year.
Okay.
Other than
No, nothing, but just enough strings that it has to come through council.
I didn't think so, I just wanna make sure it wasn't something that, we'll donate 500, you pay the other 10,000 somewhere.
All right. Okay,